Hey everyone, have you ever experienced something just out of the clear blue sky and it's just like, wow, that was awesome. And you don't see it again. Maybe for years, maybe never again. That happened to me a million years ago when the Air Force sent me to London. Now, while I'm on this boondoggle, this very important mission for the Air Force, I sample the local culture. You know, I go places, I see things. One of the things I wanted to experience was the BBC. I've seen British programming before, and like Benny Hill and stuff like that. And I just want to see how it's presented, from the BBC's point of view. It's a little different than American TV. So I'm in this hotel, which is a story in and of itself. I mean, it's like somebody's house. It was a good experience, but it was just, just different. So I'm in the hotel and I'm watching the BBC and this show comes on and it's called Spooks. Now, spooks is a somewhat derogatory term for African Americans here in the United States. So, we don't use it that much, but it also refers to ghosts and by extension, spies because of their ghostly nature, they're secretive and hidden and all that kind of stuff. So Spooks is a spy thriller / action thing. So I'm watching this show, and in this particular episode, the main characters are dealing with some bad guys, and they're in a closed restaurant or something. They're in this tussle, and one of the bad guys grabs the female spy and dumps her face in the fryer.
Not anymore! Let her go! I'll give you what you want!
And she's disfigured and she's dead. She's super dead. And I'm watching this thing like, holy crap, you can't do this. I mean, her partner's, he's freaking out. I said, you can't do that on TV. I mean, that was pretty graphic. So I watch the episode and it's just like, this is wow. I come back to America and for years and years, I don't see it. So one day I'm watching the BBC. I think I was watching Sherlock or something. And up comes this show called MI-5. And MI-5 is spooks in America because, what I mentioned earlier about the use of the word. So from henceforth, I'm going to refer to it as MI-5. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the show. So I'm watching the show. And let me tell you, MI-5 does not play. Just a little background. 25 years ago, the BBC announces that we're going to do this new show and it's going to be about spies and everything. And Lisa Faulkner is going to be in it. Now, that name may not mean much to you, but in the UK, she's a big deal. If it was today, she'd be like an influencer. She's popping up all over the place. She's an actress. So people are very excited to see, oh my gosh, she's going to be in this show. This is awesome. So she's on the show, people tune in. And on episode 2, they kill her off. And when I say they kill her off, that woman I was referring to in the beginning, yeah, that was Lisa Faulkner. And the British people are not happy. They have a letter writing campaign. BBC's getting hate mail. You got to take the show off the air. This is horrible. It's getting all kind of bad press, but BBC sticks to its gun and they keep MI5 on the air and it stays on for 10 seasons. So it does pretty good. Now, this show is, like I said, it's about spies. And if MI5 is basically their FBI. And in the FBI is this highly secretive, top-tier anti-terrorist organization. They operate in this area they call the grid. And there's technicians and hackers and computer experts, along with regular operatives and commandos and all that kind of thing. And these guys are tip of the spear kind of anti-terrorist types. And they are led by Harry Pierce, later Sir Harry Pierce. And Harry Pierce is like the spy. He's Nick Fury all rolled up in one. And when he walks in the room, people walks out because Harry knows everybody's secrets, including the British secrets. So he's the man. And Harry runs this team of commandos and crack agents and everything, and they handle no kidding government threats. I mean, this is stuff that is right out the headlines kind of stuff. There's a Snowden type character in one of these seasons. There's a they have a conflict with the Russians, the Iranians. I mean, it's some deep stuff. And this is not the usual, like we see in America, villain of the week kind of stuff. I mean, like the whole season, they're dealing with this one problem. So it's a deep storyline. These guys, it's not just they come in and go out. Man, it's really well thought out. You are like drawn into this thing. And not only that, man, let me tell you something. In MI-5, you will die. I mean, they are killing off characters left and right. I'm not talking about Joe from accounting who pops up in an episode just so they can kill him off. I'm talking about the main cast, those guys who show up while the theme song is playing. And speaking of the theme song, that theme song is awesome. I mean, you want to buy the soundtrack just for that. I mean, this show is well put together. And, like I said, people die. And it's not, in the exciting conclusion of this season, it's like at any time you can die. That young lady I was telling you about, episode 2. So you're just going along, getting into the story and bang, she's dead. And, it happens to everybody. And it's not this save the cat thing where they die heroically or doing something, cool or anything. It's like mundane spy work, and they're really emphasizing that this job ain't no joke. It ain't for the faint of heart. So one character in particular, Danny Hunter, he's been on for a while. And Danny he's having all kind of problems. He's a cool guy, but he's clashing with management. He's in love with another agent. She's not returning his affection. He's just, it's like, this guy's not doing that well, but he's capable. So on the typical spy trope, Danny is captured along with a female agent who is the wife of another, I think he's from MI-6. And they're tied back to back to chairs. You've seen it before. And the bad guy's got a gun. And he's like, tell me what the plans are. And they're like, no, we won't tell you what the plans are. So the bad guy calls old Harry. It's like, look, I got your agent. I'm going to kill him. And Harry, first place, agents, what agent? He's got to do that thing. He's like, all right, I'm killing. No, wait. Let's negotiate. Maybe we can work out something. And meanwhile, the two agents are like, kill me. No, kill me. And they're doing that. And finally the guy says, you know what? You guys are taking so long. I'm killing the woman. And Danny goes off.
Danny, please don't. Danny, please don't do this.
If I weren't chained to this chair, I would be right up in your face. And you know what I'd be saying to you? Fuck you, you death-worshipping fascist. And you know what my answer would be.
Bam! He shoots Danny Hunter in the head. And it's like, what was that? And it's like, Danny's dead. And, that's it. Danny's dead. There is no he went into a coma. He's dead. And this happens every season. It's in any time, somebody could die. And what's messed up from the character's point of view, their operation is so secret. Their family thinks they work for the Ministry of Transportation or some crap like that. So when they die, it's like, he had a horrible accident, wild beavers got him or something. They can't tell the truth. And they go to the same place for the funeral scene. And it's always this kind of thing of we can't even tell our families how we died. Well, it is gripping to say the least. And, the deaths in it just really ratchet it up because it's like you can never tell who's going to die. And quite frankly, I don't know of anybody except for old Harry and maybe one other guy who survived the whole season. I mean, don't bank on being on the BBC for long if you're on MI-5. So it really caught on. People liked it. Like I said, the theme song was good. The music was good. Everything about this show was really good. and the drama in it, along with just this whole thing of you could die at any time. These people didn't have any real lives. They're like, they were literally married to the service. There's one thing through line that goes through where Harry is in love with his assistant, and it's not like she's Miss Moneypenny. I mean, she's a decoder and everything too. She's just as brilliant as everybody else. That turns Harry on, but he's her boss. They're in the whole spy racket. They can't have that kind of relationship. She eventually leaves the service. So now it's like, do I drag her back into this world after she got out of it? What do I do? And then tragedy happens with that too. It's just really good. I mean, if you get half a chance to see the show, I think it's currently on, BritBox. So you can go through, Amazon Prime and get BritBox. And I'm not trying to, support these guys or anything, but it is really good. You got to see this show. This is a show that it ended up, I don't know, must be almost 15, 20 years now. And they've been trying to recapture that. They made a sequel. I think it only lasted like a couple episodes. I don't even know if it even got to the States where there's like a post-apocalyptic world or something like that. And there's kids in it. I think Harry's still alive. It just didn't catch on. They wrote books, but they just never could capture that lightning in the bottle they had the first time. So I'm here to tell you, man, I don't know if you have an idea or you have a show that you loved and it just never caught on. This is mine. And it always will hold a special place in my heart because this is like my go-to. If you ask me what's one of my favorite TV shows of all time, is this and 24. I mean, these shows are just like, what's going to happen? And American TV is, because of so many handcuffs they put on themselves and that various regulatory agencies put on themselves, they just don't, let their stories, let their characters breathe. It's like we have the repeating tropes of, somebody's got to come back. This guy's the evil brother. We don't kill people. We don't have lasting impact. Not in the BBC, man. I mean, I'm telling you, this show is awesome. If you ever get a chance to see it, do it. But again, what's your go-to? What's your show that you always thought that people should watch that you can't believe didn't become more popular? Comment below. I love to hear about it. Have a great day.